Hello and welcome back to Scratch Golf Academy. My name is Anthony Vessecchia. I'm a Titleist Performance Certified Golf Fitness Instructor, Junior Instructor, and Titleist Performance Institute Certified Golf Coach. Today I want to talk to you about a couple drills that are going to help you generate a little bit more lag. And the way that we're going to get more lag in your downswing is we're going to make sure that your body has the proper dissociation between upper and lower body. I'll just use this, and this is going to be one of the exercises, but just to give you a quick example, if I have this RMT club here, and I go here and I start with my hips, you can see it generate that lag. If I don't start with my hips and I start with my upper body, you'll see that there's not going to be as much lag as if I do it with my hip. You'll see it go up there and hang a little bit longer and snap back down. So that is going to be the premise of these drills today, is to help separate that upper and lower body. And also many times with that, it'll allow you to get the club more to the inside out because your hips have led the way, so your hands will drop right down into that inside out swing path or back into the slot instead of starting with the upper body and coming over the top. So stay tuned, we'll get into dissociation. All right, before we begin, please like, subscribe, comment, to do all the things that we need to keep this page going and to get us more advertising. We need that. But first things first, we're gonna start these in progress. We're gonna start with the easier and progress to the harder exercises. So the first one that we're gonna do today is just a stork turn. This is gonna help people that can't move their lower body independent from their upper body. A lot of people can do this one without their hips moving, but they have an issue moving their lower body without their shoulders moving. So we're going to lock in. A lot of times I tell people to go in a doorway and hold the frame to help lock their shoulders in place. And we're going to take a leg, or other leg, any leg, it doesn't matter. You're going to do 10 on both sides anyways. Tuck your foot behind your knee and you're going to rotate across your body. So I want you to go more of an internal rotation. You can go out to external and then back to internal. But what people will do is a lot of times to help with the turn, they're so used to moving their shoulders with it that they'll bend that elbow to help turn. I need those elbows completely locked so that your torso is not allowed to turn at all. I don't want any turning of your thoracic spine. Obviously, there's going to have some, because if your hips are moving a little this much, your spine's going to move a little bit. The whole point is I want to try to keep this part up here stable, and this is going to stabilize it for me. Once you do 10, you're going to switch and do 10 on the other side. And from the rear, these are stork turns. So you can see my shoulders are not turning. And don't bend that elbow. Okay, so be aware of that, lock those elbows in place, and just rotate from the hip. You can get a roll in the ankle down below, that's fine, but make sure that you're really getting a big turn in your hips without your shoulders moving. That first one is a stork turn. Now for the next one, I have a kind of a heavy ball here. I think this is 12 pounds. I would suggest starting with just a 3, 4, 5 pound, 6 pound ball for this drill. This is gonna be a progression from what we just did. So I'm gonna lay on the floor almost like I'm gonna do dead bugs, but I'm gonna hold the ball up like this. Now, as my arms move to the right, I want your hips to move to the left, and then we'll rotate to the other side. So they're moving completely opposite of each other. Now, if you have a heavier ball like this and you have some lower back pain or an injury to your lower back, this is obviously not gonna be that comfortable. So you can start without any weight and just get used to that rotation. But what will happen is if you don't have some ball to counterbalance when your legs drop, a lot of times your body will turn with you. So if you can have just something small, it could be a 3 pound ball, you could hold a 3 pound dumbbell, 5 pound dumbbell, you could hold anything up here, that's gonna help with the counterbalance. Kettlebell, doesn't matter. And you could just start with it a much smaller movement like this, and then as you become more flexible, you can take it to a bigger position. So that's obviously going to help with dissociation because you're taking your hips that way while your torso is going that way. And for your third, we are going to go into the RMT club, which I just had in my hand. I have shown this in past videos. You could use a dumbbell and hold it in this position. I'll just grab a 10. I think this is a 6 pound RMT club. You could use an Indian club. You can use dumbbells like this as well, and you can hold them in this position and get used to moving your hips You could use a weighted club as well. But when you're using dumbbells, obviously you're not going to get as much lag, but you will feel the weight float. So I would put it right in between your fingers like that so that it can get up there and float through. But don't let go. Hold on tight. I'm going to go back to the RMT club. And you can practice a couple without generating that dissociation and just try to do your full body. And yes, if you have your wrist loose, there will still be some lag. If you're trying to do it all in one piece, there'll be some lag, but it's not going to be as much as if you fire your hips first. You'll feel that you really have to hold on at the bottom because it's really just forcing your hands to drop and get more of that snap or that pop right through it impact that everybody's looking for to generate more power. A lot of times you'll see guys, they'll try to swing harder and they take it, way up here and they take their arms and they go, ah, and they try to swing harder, but they just completely lose their lag. And a lot of times they end up hitting a slice because they went after it too much, or they snap hook it because they're just getting way too handsy with it because they've lost all that lag, or they're gripping so tight that they've lost the lag and they early release or cast it a little bit and then just swipe through. And I actually even get caught up in that sometimes when I get too aggressive, instead of keeping it nice and smooth and just making sure my hips lead the way. And you can see that it just really snaps it down when you start with your hips first. So this is a good drill for that. I call this the pendulum swing. So we just kind of take it back with our upper body and rip it down with our lower body. So as soon as my hands travel just to about 3 o'clock here, 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock, I don't know, I'd have to look at a clock to see where we're at. But as soon as you get to here, you just rip it right back down using your hip. Okay, so I would do it both ways too. So that's a great drill. I call them pendulum swings. Obviously lead with your hips. Great drill for generating dissociation. That's kind of a progression from the first with the stork turns, then into on the ground with the ball, working that dissociation where you work your hips one way and your body the other way. You can also do those standing if you want and just start here as a regression from being on the floor. So take a knee and go across your body while you rotate with the ball that way. Hope these drills work. Really work on that dissociation. I promise you, the more X factor stretch you're getting here, the more rubber band and whip effect you're gonna get at the bottom. You can keep your arms loose. They're just gonna drop down into the slot because your larger muscles did all the work. So please work on those drills. You'll get more lag. Like, subscribe, comment, and we'll keep bringing you content.